we've talked about the Deebo Samuel negotiation a lot. You said it's going to be more tricky than anyone the Niners have done so far. So far, they've done 5 under John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. Trent Williams, George Kittle, Jimmy Garoppolo, Eric Armstead, Dee Ford. Now, Deebo is coming off an all-pro year. Wide receiver contracts are skyrocketing. They're like quarterback contracts now. Tyreek Hill just went for $30 million a year. Will the 49ers make Deebo Samuel the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL this offseason?
No.
Wow.
No. I'm going to say no.
Okay.
And it's because the money is tricky, right? Because you got Hopkins. Adams' contract, even though it is at 28, it's actually a lot more team friendly. Adams' contract is pretty smart, but you have Tyreek,
It's 29. It better be team friendly. You're saying,
right?
Yeah.
But no, in terms of the way it's structured, in terms of the cap hits, the Adams deal is actually friendlier than DeAndre Hopkins and Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So you have those 3 guys, and then there's a big drop off to about $20 million with DJ Moore and Keenan Allen and whatever. Mm-hmm. Well, I think Deebo Samuel is better than him, though I think DJ Moore is a hell of a player, and I think he's valued right around there. I think Deebo probably fits right in between those 2 categories in terms of where he averages out, and I just think that's the case of the accolades. Like DeAndre Hopkins is a 4-time first-team All-Pro. Tyreek Hill is a 2-time first-team All-Pro. Devontae Adams is a 2-time first-team All-Pro. They have accolades that you can match up and say, Deebo, you only have 1 first-team All-Pro, 1 Pro Bowl. We cannot pay you like those guys.
He's shown flashes.
You're worth a lot of money. Yeah,
but he's only put together one season that's All-Pro.
Yeah. So, he was first team this year, but because of that, the accolades, you could easily negotiate him down from those guys. But I don't think you can negotiate him down to Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. So I think he's going to fit somewhere in there. I think that's where it makes the most sense. He will be, in my opinion, between $21 and $24 million. That's what I would expect his average annual to be. It's still expensive, but to me, that makes sense for all parties involved. Again, because we've talked about this negotiation, right? And if you're Deebo Samuel from a total value leadership standpoint, like you can walk in and demand the kind of money Devontae Adams demanded. Like you can say, hey, look at the playoffs. Me and Devontae Adams were on the same field. I was the best player on the field.
Yeah. So my first question to you was, do you think Deebo's actually going to accept 21 to 24, or is he going to be like? Because I mean, like Kittle held out. Kittle wanted to be the highest paid tight end.
So
will it mean that much to him?
Well, in Kittle's case, I think Kittle also had to be, because Kittle is he does the tight end university. He's been very promotional, National Tight Ends Day for all tight ends everywhere. I think Kittle as a player to be the highest paid tight end, given his age, production, and perception as the best tight end in the NFL at the time, it was really, really important for him to set a standard so that the other people with his position can also profit and make a lot of money. So from that standpoint, to me, for Kittle, it made sense. I don't think Deebo Samuel has that perception that he is the best receiver in the NFL. Therefore, he should be the highest paid receiver. I still think Deebo Samuel, if you're him, you still walk in asking that kind of money. But I also think if you're the Niners and the way you do business, you're a little bit far away from that. And I think that that's where the negotiation is going to end up meeting. Somewhere around there. I don't want to rehash all of this.
Remember, Parag drew the line on Trent.
A month ago. We talked about why this is tricky.
Right. I'm just saying, Parag drew the line on Trent Williams. He was willing to walk away. So, I mean, I would think that if Deebo Samuel holds, I need $30 million a year, that Parag would probably say no. Maybe Kyle Shanahan would overrule him.
And that's where you can say, right? You can say, and that's the thing with the Tyreek Hill. You can say today you're not going to trade him, but if he's steadfast asking for $30 million and you just feel like you've hashed out every single conversation with him to get him a bit lower so you can fit in, you feel like you've gone even higher than you can possibly go. Well, do you think the Chiefs 2 weeks ago were telling people, hey, we're trading Tyreek Hill? Like the Buckner situation to me was more of a, hey, we've already done the math. We kind of know where the negotiation is going to go with Buckner. What based on Buckner said, it feels like they didn't take the negotiation with him that far and really push him to, try and change stuff. And it felt like they've already made a decision that what makes most sense for our football team is getting a first for him, seeing what we can do there and going with Armstead and Jimmy Ward. Well, to me, the Deebo situation is different because they got to negotiate first. And if they go to every avenue and he stays steadfast at $30 million, well, then that's where the trade Deebo conversation comes. But we're ways away from that. Yeah,
what I want to ask is, I mean, let's say there's an option, a third option. Deebo wants $30 million. He won't budge. The Niners don't want to give him that because to me, I'm not a Parag guy. I'm not a Moneyball guy, but I don't really feel comfortable giving Deebo $30 million a year. I mean, for 1 year of showing he's elite. Is it possible?
I don't feel comfortable giving any non-quarterback that much.
Exactly.
Money,
I don't feel comfortable with that. Yeah. And it's like the Niners gave Trent Williams the extension. I kind of didn't like it at the time, but it's like, dude, he is a proven player. He's done this every year for the last decade.
Deebo you could argue he's the best non-quarterback in football with Aaron Donald.
Exactly. And Deebo's a guy who has groin and hamstring issues. Like, it's fair to wonder if he could do what he did last year every single year, the way Jerry Rice did, the way Roger Craig did, because that's what you're hoping for.
To me, that conversation is fair because just a year ago, your conversation about Deebo Samuel was showing disappointment in how they felt he took care of his own body as a player. And so because of that, I think that this conversation is fair. I think you and I
can't you have your cake and eat it too? Can't you keep him but not commit for a 5-year deal? Can't you be like, look, man, you're under contract this year. You want to be, we'll give you $23 million a year. You want 30, you got to play out this contract. And if you do it again, dude, we will write you a blank check, but we need a little bit more evidence. We need a little bit more data from you, man.
I think it's fair to look at it like that. I don't think they will. And I think that's where Deebo, I think right. No. But I think Deebo has leverage to push for this contract, given that he's going to be a free agent next year, and given that he can hold out, and your window is there. I think Deebo's leverage, right, and that's why I talked about how tricky this extension is, because there's a lot of things that you said that make sense from the Niners standpoint, but then there's a lot of things that you can make the argument right back for Deebo.
Yes. I'm just saying, you want to give a 5-year contract worth over $100 million to a guy who plays a lot of running back? That's a leap of faith, man. That's a leap of faith.
It is. It is a leap of faith. And it's gonna. I think it's gonna be one of the most interesting contracts we've seen. I think it's gonna be a creative structure. I do think he will get compensated what I think is fair, and I think anywhere between $22 to $25 million is fair game for what he brings to this offense. Hell yeah. But I just think that it's
Jed York retweeted a tweet.
Yeah.
I mean, so if Jed wants him, he's staying.
They're going to do everything to keep him. But do I think that this negotiation is going to be, shake hands, everybody's happy in May before OTAs and it gets done? No. I personally don't believe it's there. I think this one drags out a little bit longer because there's a lot of details. It's really, to me, this contract, the details will become a little bit more important because to a player like Deebo that's gotten hurt, that's also a little bit older than, Bosa, who's going to get his second contract. He's a few years older. Details like what your guaranteed money, your signing bonus, when you get cut, those type of things might matter a little bit more. And the Niners have shown the ability to take a little bit of leeway there. Like, we'll pay you this money in your signing bonus, but you'll get it if you're on the roster 3 years from now on this date, and you'll get that much money guaranteed and stuff like that. So I think those type of details with Deebo Samuel will definitely play a big role. And if you're not, and here's my other thing, Grant, and the franchise tag, I think, becomes tricky for Deebo too. Because if you want to go the franchise tag route, but you're not willing to pay him $30 million annually, whatever, the franchise tag for the wide receiver with these contracts that people are getting, especially when you add the A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf contract, it's going to become massive. They'll be playing in the Knicks.
But hold on. Couldn't they be like, hey, he's a running back? He had more carries and catches?
No, I don't think so.
Are you sure?
I think the NFLPA would take him straight to court for that one. No way. We're talking about a guy who had 1,500 receiving yards. We're talking about a guy who had 1,500 receiving yards. Come on.
That's true. But I'm saying, like, what if, let's say he has more rushing yards than receiving yards next year? What is he?
A receiver.
What is he? Is he? Okay. All right. Cool, Deebo. I'm not trying to take money out of your pocket. I hope you get all that money, buddy.